Hello, online crew. We're going to have a bit of a discussion today. I'm going to come clean in what's been happening in my world and share with you a little bit about why essentially I terminated my account with my company. So we're here to talk about that today. Before I get into that story, couple of things that I want to share with you. Firstly, this whole live streaming in groups thing, man, has that been a bit of a battle? But I've worked out every issue that's going to come up and I've resolved them all. So I am currently streaming on Instagram. I am streaming on my business page. I'm streaming on YouTube. I am streaming in my free group through StreamYard, and I've got it all nailed. So those of you that are in my coaching community, I've already done videos for you over there, but I'm doing a training specifically for you guys in 2 days' time, sharing with you all the troubleshooting, all the issues that are coming up and how to navigate them. So coaching community members, make sure you catch that training regarding live streaming and setting up Facebook events. I'm going to show you how to do it all and all the things that you can troubleshoot when errors come up. Okay. Secondly, who's joining me for the lead magnet bootcamp next week? Advanced notice. I'm running a free bootcamp next week, which is the lead magnet bootcamp. I won't be live on Instagram all next week. I won't be live on YouTube all next week. I will only be live in my free group for the lead magnet bootcamp. So if you need to learn how to attract people to you through social media, you should learn how to create lead magnets. And I'm doing that for this community all next week for free. So if you go to helenmartinonline.com / what did I call it? Lead magnet? Yes. helenmartinonline.com / lead magnet. You can opt into that for free. And that's what I am delivering next week. Okay. So just a couple of reminders for you. So how are you? If you are live with me, say hello. Oops, hang on. Got to need to come back there. Okay. So if you're live with me, please say hello. I'll get rid of that banner there. Okay. So Cherie, hello. How are you? We've got Tim, me. Awesome. So if you're watching with me live, say hello so I can give you a shout out. So I want to share with you just the realities of the struggles of this industry and what I have been through for the last few weeks, with two very important lessons behind what I'm going to share with you. One of those is if you are in this industry of social selling, network marketing, building a business online with that kind of business model, you would know that it's fairly tough times out there for a lot of companies and a lot of people. In my world, just recently, I found out some information from the company that I've been with for over 5 years that I guess shocked me, surprised me, made me angry, made me frustrated, made me cry, just a whole lot of emotions around that, to the point where I terminated my account of the network marketing company that I've been with for over 5 years. Reasons for that, I'm not going to go into here. But let's just say, basically, very, very grateful for the experience. A lot of people that I've worked with, the ride that I've been on, the money that I've earned, the trips that I've been on. Like, I don't want to talk badly of the experience that I've had or the company that I've been in. But sometimes in this industry, things change. I don't know if you watched my live video this time last week, but I spoke about try not to stress about things that you can't control. All of this and what's happened in my world in the last couple of weeks has been, and what's happened with the company that I was in, totally beyond my control. But sometimes you need to pivot. So what's my message in all of this? My message in sharing this with you is two things. The reason why you want to adopt attraction marketing principles and branding yourself and the way that you show up on social media being about the problems that you help people, not about the name of the company, is that unless you choose to tell people what's going on, which I kind of am now, none of you would know unless you're close to me or, you're in my company, what's gone on in the last, 2 or 3 weeks. It hasn't hurt my brand. It doesn't make a difference what company I'm in because it's behind the scenes. It's not what I lead with. Does that make sense? So what I'm trying to share with you is this is exactly the reason that we brand ourselves and not our company, because none of you, unless you're close to me, would know what's happened with my company because I don't lead with my company. It doesn't hurt my brand. It doesn't make any difference to what I teach you here because my brand is about me and the problems that I solve for you. It's not about the company that I'm with. Does that make sense? This is exactly why we adopt attraction marketing principles and make our brand ourselves and not our company. If you make everything about your company, and I know there's top leaders out there saying it's old school news if you are not being open about the company that you are with and you are not saying the company name, and if that's what you're being taught, that's old school news. I don't agree with that. The reason I don't agree with that is because for the majority in this industry, you're not top leaders. Top leaders can say the name of the company and they've already got success. And if they go somewhere else, they'll probably still have success. It is very different in this industry on social media for top leaders to be loud and proud than the average person that hasn't made much money in the industry. Does that make sense to you? So with everything that's been going on in my world and terminating my account in my company, it hasn't made any difference to me turning up live here, giving value, doing my lead magnet bootcamp. It doesn't make a damn bit of difference which company I'm in because I don't lead with the company. So there's my first message. This is exactly why. Now I'm choosing to share the message with you today. So yes, you'll know a little bit about it. Because I'm choosing to share it with you. But other than that, majority of you would not have any idea what's gone on in my world in the last 2 or 3 weeks, the emotions that I've been through, the hurt, the deceit, the lies, all of that, the decisions I've had to make, the team that terminating my account. And none of you would know any of that because I don't need to make that public. It's not why I show up on social media. Okay, so it doesn't hurt me that I've left. I don't make everything about my network marketing company. So then people look at me and go, "Oh, now she's promoting this new thing," and I lose credibility. Okay, because it's not about the company; it's about the problems that I solve for people. That's one message. The other message I want to share with you is integrity in this industry. Sometimes, how do I say this? It's hard to make tough decisions, but sometimes tough decisions need to be made to move forward. Does that make sense? So I've had to make some tough decisions, but that's because the integrity that I have with who I am, how I lead on social media, and the team that I care about. And finding out some of the things that I found out integrity wise, I couldn't stay with my company. And that's a really, really hard decision. But some of you will know in your gut whether you should be where you are and or not, and you stay because you're loyal. I always did because I was loyal, but the only person you need to be loyal to is yourself. So why do I share that? Is because sometimes the best things can happen from the toughest decisions that need to be made. Now, before people reach out to me and say, where are you going? Join my company. I've already moved on. We've done amazing things in the last 2 weeks, hit record sales in record amount of time. I've already hit leadership ranks. My team are winning. They're making money. It's just something that's been absolutely awful, has been a wild ride, and it's very exciting to be a part of and to help people. Please don't bombard me with messages about joining your company. I'm here to share. Sometimes this industry is tough. Sometimes you have to make decisions. It is not wrong to move companies if that is the right decision for you, if that's what aligns with you, if your integrity is in question. And I felt that mine was. And to, protect the people that I work with, there's an element of honesty that needed to be shared. And there are some leaders that have not shared that with their teams in the company, and I don't agree with that. I think you need to be open and above board, when things go wrong as well as when things go right. Does that make sense to you? So back to my points regarding why I'm sharing this. If you want to successfully grow a business on social media, this is the importance of personal branding and sharing the problems that you solve for people. It's not about the company that you're with. It's really not. And even though I've been through everything that I've been through in the last, 2 to 3 weeks, none of you would know unless I tell you, which I'm telling you now, because I don't brand myself with my company. So if somebody's telling you that's old school news and you should lead with your company, I don't believe you need to, unless you're a top leader and you're earning lots of money, and you can go to another company and still earn lots of money because you've already had the success and you've probably got a lot of people that would follow you. Does that make that message make sense? If you are newer to this industry, it's even more important for you to lead with yourself and what you bring to the table than the company that you're actually with, because it's short-lived and you never know what's going to happen in this industry. I would have never thought that I would have terminated my account with my company in the last couple of weeks. You think you're going to stay where you're going to stay for a very long time. And I wanted it to work. But for whatever reason, I won't go into any of that here, it didn't work out. And it's a hard industry to be in. But brand yourself, not your company. And absolutely 100% of the time, my motto is be a human before a marketer. Don't make a paycheck more important than people. Doesn't matter what industry you're in, but particularly in this industry, do not ever make a paycheck more important than the people that you are in business with. And that's where my decisions have come from. It's not from me still collecting a paycheck. It's about me feeling, that it just didn't align with me anymore, but being honest with my team about what was going on and looking after the team. That should be first and foremost. And I also don't believe in burning bridges because people go elsewhere. I don't know if you've been exposed to this before, but in this industry, I've seen way too many people that were friends become enemies because of this industry, because they decided to go somewhere else. I do not agree with that at all. If someone decides to go somewhere else, you should wish them well, each to their own. It's people change businesses and companies in the real world all the time, and it's fine. Why should it be any different in this industry when someone decides to go somewhere else? Why are you suddenly not friends with them anymore? I've seen some really awful things in the last 6 or 8 months with people leaving companies or being terminated from companies, and things have got very ugly. I think that's a massive downfall in this industry, and that should never happen. Always be a human before a marketer. Do you agree with me on that? That's just my personal point of view. Nobody owns anybody. Nobody should begrudge anybody for making a better decision for themselves or their family. That's what I strongly believe in. Anyway, makes perfect sense. Thank you, Julie. Cherie, it's always important for me to be honest and above board with people that I work with. Absolutely. Nicola, we love all your input. What you've had to go through has been tough. Thank you for being the raw you. Thank you. I appreciate your feedback there. Nicolina agrees. Julie agrees. And not everybody will. But there's good and bad in every industry. We have our good and bad in this industry of social selling and network marketing. But I will always, to my core, believe that we should be a human before a marketer, and not to get caught up with ugly politics and destroying friendships and relationships over which business they decide to be in or leave. We're better than that. We should all be better than that. It's just something that's very important to me. So some very tough decisions have had to be made in my world, but I believe for my integrity and for the team, looking after the team, giving them a new home to go to, looking after them, and that's much more important than a paycheck. And I'm super, something that's been super, super hard has been turned into something that's super exciting, with people winning, and it's just fun again. And, I guess I'll leave this by saying, when one door shuts, another one does open if you allow that. And I'm a true believer, whether we understand it in the moment or not, that things happen for a reason. And sometimes we don't see in the future what is actually going to happen, and they hit us like a ton of bricks. And it's like, whoa, I didn't expect that. I didn't think this would be happening, or I didn't think I'd be making this decision, but it does. And then something hard turns into something amazing. And I would just encourage you all to think like that as a human being, in that everything, even though we might not understand it at the time, everything happens for a reason. And I choose to look on the positive side of things. And, now I've come out the other side. But I'll say again, how you show up on social media is not to air problems, not to share the issues that are happening, not to have a gripe at people, not to have a dig. It's just to share, the positive things. But when you lead with what you help people with, in the background, it doesn't matter what company you're with. You can still, carry on. And you guys have known no different. I've been sleep deprived. I've put on weight because I am an emotional eater, and when I get stressed, I go to chocolate. It's been a tough few weeks. But there are a lot of you that have been listening to this live or the replay that would never know any different. And you don't have to. Okay? So take those messages for what you will. I'm just being open and transparent and raw and real about, what's been happening with me in the last few weeks. And It really comes down to us as human beings, how we move through challenges in our life and come out the other side and not think, woe is me, this is all bad. There's always something good that can come out of a challenging situation. And I believe that to be true with what's been going on for me. So I hope that helps in some way by me sharing my journey. It's a tough industry. It really is. And yes, I did quit my business, but it's all good. Turned a new leaf, on a new chapter, onwards and upwards, achieved great things already, and just looking on the positive side of life. Okay, so this week, remember, if you're a coaching community member, I'm going into detail in the training about Facebook events, how to set them up, live streaming, StreamYard, Zoom, how to do that with the new restrictions on Facebook, walking you all through that. And don't forget, next week, I'm running the Lead Magnet Bootcamp for free, but only in my free group, not on Instagram, not on my business page, not on YouTube. So make sure you register for that because it's free and it could be really helpful for you in growing your business. So that's helenmartinonline.com/lead magnet. So put that into Google, opt in, and join me for that free training next week. Okay, I will see you in 2 days' time for my next video. Bye.